Well, guys, I did it. I wanted to make y'all happy, so I gave up the hunt early, and I paid through the nose to get my hands on a G.I. Joe classified Cobra Island Cobra Viper, and it's coming up next on Playthingamajig, and you better appreciate it. So here's a brief overview of the Cobra Island Cobra Trooper. Super brief. He's awesome. If you can get 1 or 5 while they're still available, which they're kind of not, go do it. He looks absolutely amazing. His coloring, his sculpting, his detail. I love all these red pads on top of the dark blue. There's the great Cobra logos here, and one on the backpack, which actually for Cobra is really minimal. They like to put their logo on everything. He's got the great chromish faceplate, and for some reason goggles. And by the way, don't force the goggles over the top of his head because you'll break them like I did. I'll go over that later. He has everything that my boyhood heart could have wanted. When the Cobra Vipers appeared on screen, it was like, oh my god, that is the coolest Cobra foot soldier ever. He put regular Cobra Troopers to shame, and this guy does too. And I love the Cobra Island Cobra Trooper look. This guy is still that much better. He's got a big gun that could be a Nerf long strike, but I don't know. He's got this neat neckerchief that hides his only part of flesh. And if I get more than one of these, they'll all wear it because I don't like that exposed flesh. The only real downside, this vest, which, you know, looks absolutely amazing, is even tighter than the Cobra Trooper one. So it limits a fair amount of torso movement, both the ab crunch and the waist turn. But honestly, when you look this good, who cares? Only other rub, and this might just be, you know, my figure or it might be random figures. The waist hip joints in mine were loose right out of the box, both in the up and down position. But you know, I'll pose him nice or put him on a stand, and I will not care because he's just that great. Final score for G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Island Cobra Viper. For articulation and posability, average score of 3. He has all the points of articulation that we're accustomed to in a figure I would normally give a 4 to, but with the vest limiting his ab crunch and his waist swivel, with his hips being loose out of the box and with his shoulders being loose, his posability is a bit limited. For accessories, 4. We were spoiled with the Cobra Island Cobra Trooper with all the stuff that he came with, and now the newer figures in the line have like pockets and backpacks for extra accessories. This guy doesn't have any of that, and he still has a free hand, so something ain't there. In the looks department, he is a 5. He is a gem. The Real American Hero design for the Cobra Viper was already awesome, and this is an incredible improvement upon that. He just is astounding. And for construction, a 3. Again, he was wobbly out of the box. He's gotten more wobbly since then. His backpack has fallen out a handful of times since I started doing this. Again, the vest blocking up some of the construction. The hips drop down a little bit too easily. He's got some construction flaws, but he's still pretty awesome. All in all, that is a 3, 4, 5, 3. That is a 15 out of 20. Being who and what he is and what line he's from, he was already highly recommended. I second that recommendation. Whether you're a G.I. Joe collector, a Cobra collector, an Army builder, this guy looks absolutely awesome on a shelf, in the package even, if you're that kind of person. He's a Target exclusive. Chances are the supply is already dried up, so if you can find one, get him. I'm Mark from Playthingamajig, where it's all about the toys. See you next time. All right, G.I. Jokers, here we have the Cobra Viper just about ready to be unboxed. He is a Target exclusive from the Special Missions Cobra Island grouping, G.I. Joe Classified. We'll go over the box real quickly, and then we'll get him out of it. The design for the art on the box, which for some reason they do not credit on the box, is either it's Anthony Petrie or Petri or Petrie or Petri. And pretty much I covered all possibilities on that one. It's very nice artwork. I do like the way he's got the squad of the guys here, and then the one single guy here. This side of the box has our replacement for the index cards we're not going to get. This is the back. I'm going to... So in my Firefly video, I pointed out that the Firefly box, the Series 2 Cobra Island box that was Firefly, was different than the Cobra Island box back from Wave 1. What I have learned in the process of getting these guys is every single Cobra Island box is different in the air. The map is the same, but where these things are circled is different on every single one. Like Firefly, I believe, had this harbor area circled, and one of them had this area up here, and one of them had this over here. So they're all different. Ignore what I said if you go back and watch that video. Ignore that. They're all different, and I don't believe it really means anything, but every circle then has like a zoom out area like these, and they all look kind of cool. If you were building something like the Teletran 1 backdrop from the Transformers line, this would actually be a really neat thing that you could use as like the computer screen with all your figures pointing like, hey, we should go there. Anyway, that's the box. We don't care about the box. Let's get her open. In my research to find out as much as I could about Cobra Vipers, and of course I already knew them because I grew up in the 80s, I learned that through all of the cartoons and comics and movies and everything else, there's actually 53 types of Vipers. 53! And almost all of them are like named for whatever their specialty is. Like there's a Fast Blast Viper, which is for field combat, and there's a Gyro Viper. And, I mean, actually, a lot of them, when you look at their names, don't really seem to explain what they do. This guy here is the simple Cobra Viper. Crinkle time! Anyway, he is the Cobra Viper, which makes him the elite version of a regular Cobra Trooper. The Cobra Troopers, as you know in this line, especially the Cobra Island ones, have the armband, which means that there's Cobra Troopers, there is like commander or leader Cobra Troopers, then there's the elite Cobra Troopers, which are these Cobra Vipers. Then these guys supposedly have something. I think someone said it was this scarf here makes him like a commander. There's very many there's very many levels of Cobra Troopers and Cobra Vipers. The write-up says there's actually the majority of the troopers are Vipers, but that's only because there are 53 kinds of Vipers. So, okay, so here we have our figure. We'll go over his front and back in he's got his backpack. He's got this scarf, which again, I'm not entirely sure if that has to do with his commander level or what he has. There's this cool looking blaster, a pistol, and goggles, which are funny because he has this kind of face mask. But hey, we don't care. It's G.I. Joe. There's everything in the box. Unboxing complete. Okay, going to do a little more in-depth on some stuff that I couldn't fit into the first 3 minutes of our review here. Again, this guy looks absolutely awesome, and as you can see from the very beginning, I'm holding him up. The leg joints on my figure are very, very loose. It doesn't take much for his legs just to go out, and then he falls over. Even the ankle joints, actually, they're not bad right now. But yeah, so I hope they're not all like this. But I've said him a couple times like this, and his legs went out, and he fell down. So the leg joints, even in the down or up position, are pretty much just as loose no matter which way. And again, I'm hoping it's just this one. So one thing about the design of this guy is on the old Real American Hero Cobra Viper, while he is absolutely awesome, it was weird. I always thought that he basically was wearing a short sleeve shirt and then a long red gauntlet. So they fixed that on this guy by giving him full sleeves, which I think is an amazing upgrade, even though it's a very minor detail. The only skin on this guy is underneath this neckerchief. And I think it looks weird. Maybe it's because it's the only part, or maybe it's because why would you have that exposed when you have every other inch of you covered? Which I guess is kind of the same thing. When this guy was first announced, I had seen, I thought they were official terms, but I'm going to say that probably were just fan theories, that this was basically the equivalent of the armband on the Cobra Trooper that signified that he was like a leader or a captain, and that by wearing this guy would then be a captain. I have found no other evidence to say that that is true. I think this is just a neckerchief that gives him different look options. However, I don't like the skin tone. So if I have more than one of these guys, they are all wearing the neckerchief, even though having the neckerchief means that his head movement is limited, more limited, not horribly limited, but yes, he's got some issues, obviously, with having the neckerchief there, although his chin does actually fit within it, so maybe not so bad. I've said earlier, and I'll say, so, okay, again, it's very odd for a guy to have this face shield to have goggles. Do not try to force these goggles over the top of his helmet, because you will have this problem. I was considering possibly popping his head off and seeing if they would fit from underneath, but then I thought, even if these things were on him, like, what the hell would they look like? I don't know if that's a good look. I think they're actually a really good look on top of the helmet. Actually, that isn't that bad of a look, really. I just don't think they're actually made to go on his face. I think they're made to be up here. And if you look at all the artwork on the box, that's where they are. And they do look really cool there. They don't make any sense, but they look really cool. So, yeah, sadly, I broke my goggles. Much like, so 3 times now the backpack has fallen off while I was doing things preparing for this video. So the stem actually looks like it's got a decent length to it, but I guess it's just the bulkiness and the weight, the heft of this bag, that it doesn't take much to work it off of him. I'm still kind of surprised. It is a nice bag. It does not have any cutouts for any accessories. It doesn't have any peg holes either for any past guns. His gun does not have a peg on it. So it's really just a backpack. That's all there is to it. It's a very nice backpack. A little bit maybe too square, but all in all, it's a very nice backpack. I like the new gun. I'm going to drop him for a second. I like the new gun. I guess there are complaints that it, again, looks like a Nerf gun. I have a pile of Nerf guns, and I don't think this is a specific Nerf gun, although I do think if you look at the general overall, this would be a long shot. But for one thing, a long shot would actually look cool. And so a version of the long shot in a GI, it's a very nice gun. Also, the magazine pops out. And it's both sides are like identical. They have like a little fat end. The ends are raised, but it fits either way. And I guess the only reason I noticed that is someone, as I looked at him in the box, and I'm like, well, it looks kind of like the way the magazine comes out of Roadblock's giant cannon weapon chain gun thing. And sure enough, it does. So that's kind of neat. What else was I going to cover? I covered the fact that his elbows now have paint on them. I covered the neckerchief. The leg holster, I believe it. I'm not 100% sure. I guess I should compare the gun to the Cobra Trooper. So this pistol fits very well in the holster. Here is the Cobra Island Cobra Trooper. And no, they are not the same gun. Oh, I would have sworn they were. Still love the look of this guy. This guy looks better. Okay, so the pistol is different. It does fit into his holster. The holster is very loose, which I don't care for. I guess if you force it down just a little bit, it locks. Not really locks, but it fits a little tighter. If you push it up to where the joint is there, the upper thigh swivel, then it gets really loose because it's the narrower part of the leg. So if you pull it down a little bit, it actually locks better into place. So that's really not an issue. The vest, see, there was the backpack, as I said. The vest, very nice detailing. The one peg for the backpack. There's no other way to put anything on this. Very nice detailing. The red straps, the Cobra Trooper, Cobra symbol, the pouches. However, this vest it's very tight. I don't remember this being that tight. Again, I guess I can pull out my Cobra Trooper to prove the point. Yeah, see, his vest is just kind of like bigger, and you can still you can still use his ab crunch and waist turn. Yeah, that's still stiff, but this one is the Viper is very stiff. Like this is a really well put on vest. I'd actually have to see a video to see if anybody took this off of him, which I would not do. I took one off of one of the Cobra Troopers because I felt if I had one, I had multiples, and if I had one that was supposed to be the sniper, why would he have this giant body armor vest on? So I worked one off of him. I think it looks really cool with and without, but I would not take this one off him because he looks great with it. However, if I see a video that suggests he would look good without it, and I have multiples of these, I might consider it. I think that was all I wanted to cover. Yeah, mine has loose leg joints. The vest is very tight. Now I've learned now through this little video that you can tighten this holster by pulling it farther down on his thigh. So that's great. I showed you the gun. And do not break your goggles. Don't break your goggles. Cool. The Viper is coming, but it's not the Vindo Viper. Don't do what I do. Don't force this over his head because the goggles broke and now he has no goggles. Over the joints kind of sucks. I can't say sucks. We don't care about the box. The artwork here was done by, I totally forgot his name. We're going to get this. Alexa, time.
The time is 2:07.
Son of a bitch. Why are you stripping your butt on the floor? How am I going to end this bitch? And his backpack falls off. Fuck me. Fuck me.
Thank you.